Hi everyone, this is Nora. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. And this is the first planner hop for 2025. I kind of feel like I did the same thing last year for 2024. I again had this intention of using my personal size rings, which is right here, but things just felt so narrow, mostly because I'm coming from my beloved A5. And yes, this is a spread I filled out. I was very tempted to actually return to A5. And I had, in fact, last year purchased a lot of inserts and I was ready to go at one point in A5. But then I thought about how I want to try new things this year. I thought about how I wanted to give my personal rings another chance and see if this time it would work for me. And I really don't know what happened. I know that when I first started my planner journey, I was in personal rings. I jumped into A6. Then I was going back and forth between personal rings and A5. Finally, I went into A5 and I just fell in love. And I was in A5, my A5 rings for a couple years. And even this for 2025, I thought I was going to continue in A5. But then I kept going back to this idea that I want something a little bit more portable, plain and simple. Going back to this idea that I want to try new things, I do feel very proud of myself for trying new things. And one of those new items has been my Pocket Desk agenda, where I've been using this Pocket Plus notebook from Aesthetic Paper Co. And I use it for my wellness. And this has been something very consistent for me. So I'm happy to continue to report on this here. Moving along that idea, as I said, of starting new things, I also purchased the Paul MM. And this fits my Stalogy B6 journal. Same thing. I've been going really strong in here since December 25th. I've been journaling in here every single day and have truly enjoyed this so much. Now, these two items, I really don't show them on any of my social media platforms, mostly because they are more personal, but they're going very, very well, both of these. And the only issue has been my personal rings. And I just don't know. And so I did hint in my last video that I was going to try possibly A6. Now, I have used A6 before. I used to use the Stardust from VDS. Loved it. The beige. I also had a beige Croco as well. I no longer have those two agendas. However, I do have something new that I want to share with you, and that is the A6 Mulberry. I did do an unboxing of this maybe 2 years ago. I can link that below so you can get an idea of, my first impressions of it. Right now, obviously, this is not, I've seen this planner, I've had this planner, so it's not anything new. But I do want to just kind of explain what happened here, because in these inserts that I just shared right now, these that you were looking at for quite a while, I don't know, just felt really tight, the space. And I think my issue has been not having enough room to write from left to right. And I remembered the A6, it's like a mini A5. That's really what it is, and definitely more portable. I've been definitely using this planner lately for about the last 2 to 3 weeks or so, and I've taken it with me. I was able to, for example, today take it to church, and I took my church notes here in the back. I don't know how much I'm going to share with you today of the setup, because I'm still waiting on something. Of course, right? It's like the story of my life. I'm always waiting on something, but I honestly feel like this makes it so exciting for me. Planning, as long as I have a home, meaning a planner where I know I have all my things in there. And then even if I do switch things around, I don't miss my appointments, I am able to complete all my tasks, I'm okay with it, right? So for now, this has been my home. But of course, you never know. As you saw right here, this takes up the whole frame, but as you saw here, this is February 2025 right here. This is the first week of February here, and it is fully filled out because this is truly what I miss. I miss having my weekly, hourly, actually this has always been a half-hour slots, but I miss having that time blocking. And I currently don't have this particular insert in here, but that is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see if this would work. The inserts that have mostly worked for me have been the ones from Infinite Lotus, mostly because there's an entire collection there of the things that I need. So I will do, I think, a brief flip of this setup and definitely show you the deco first, and then I'm going to move into my sections and try to, I guess, name all the items, all the different brands, all the different shops, I should say, that where I got the items from. So let's get into this and see how it goes, right? I am very much still experimenting with this size. So far, I have been enjoying it very, very much so, but I will not know until I get my hands on this particular layout if I'm gonna love this. I do have some inserts that I did receive from Aesthetic Paper Co., and I will show you those to kind of it's gonna give me an idea, right? But those inserts are undated, which is great because those inserts would give me some flexibility, right? But you know, if you've been around for a while, I prefer dated inserts. That's just me. But it's great to experiment with something as I wait. And it's actually going to be a custom. Let me tell you real quick about that, because I know some of you asked, and I feel like I reveal my secrets here more than on Instagram. So this right here is week on 4 pages. And this is blank, of course, because that was my issue when I was in personal size. Those lines right here, they just felt I didn't have enough room to write from left to right. That's always been the issue with personal size for me. And so I ordered a custom order of just this layout. And I hope you can fully see this because it's quite large, right? So of course it's going to start at 7 a.m. and ends at 9 p.m. and they're all half-hour slots, Monday through Friday. It is a Monday start, Monday through Friday. They're going to be the time slots there, but Saturday and Sunday do not have time slots, so you have more flexibility on your weekends. So this is what I'm waiting on, and I did request to not get these 2 pages because I don't need a tracker. A lot of the space, I'm just not using it as it should be used, whether it's A5 or personal, whatever it is. I feel like my heart is here. And if you saw any of my flips from 2024, this was my go-to, except that this was undated and now I have it dated. Unfortunately, these 2 are not working, and meaning these 2 pages here are not working. And I wish I would have just went straight for a custom order, but it took me a while. I was trying to make it work in personal rings. And then I decided, well, let me have my backup, which is my A5, but I don't, if anything, I'll have the A5 maybe as a desk planner. I do have it fully set up, as I said, but I want something more portable. Will there be some overlap while I adjust to A6? Absolutely, because this is kind of my trial run to see if I can fit my entire life in A6. I want to have one planner. And so the goal is to see if this size will work. I feel like what I'm going to show you today has been working very well so far, the inserts and everything. But I have yet to see if this kind of weekly, hourly, weekly, half-hourly layout that I'm going to receive hopefully soon will work for me or not. And that will be what's really going to determine if I'm going to stick with the A6 or not. All right, so let's check out what is going on here. Sorry, this kind of took a little long, but I wanted to just kind of preface everything and just kind of share my thought process and share some little secrets, if you want to call it that. The A6 Mulberry agenda I've had is this black one, and the inside has the oak color. And it's got, of course, not the normal closure that you would get from other agendas, whether it be Moterm, whatever it is out there, cloth and paper, because it's got the lock, and this is what makes it so unique, of course. I had to get, back when I got this, gold, of course, the gold hardware. I absolutely love it. You guys know what I'm going to do. I always bend these back. I have zero fear of doing that because I will always make sure that my planner is laid flat. Anyway, what is really nice about this agenda is that it's so simple. The left side here, I just have this small magnetic pin that you've seen before from Aesthetic Paper Co. and this little card from Infinite Lotus. And then let's go to the back right away. I have my pen that I always use. And these little cards here are from Sesavi. These are probably not available anymore, but I've, of course, kept them. I mostly use them for deco, just to be completely transparent, but I love it. And so I have 4 of those right here in those pockets. And then I have the larger February card from Infinite Lotus, which I received from the monthly sub box. I love how this fits back here. I will tell you that I recommend a smaller pen to fit in here. For example, I use this other pen here in my GM agenda, and it's quite a squeeze. Like, you can get it in there, it fits. but I rather have a pen that's thin and that I can take it in and out. So I always stick to this one here. All right, I also have this 30-day challenge. Again, card from Infinite Lotus. It's just really there for deco as well. And I have these little sticky notes from Infinite Lotus in case I need them. As far as accessories, I always stick to May Paper Co. for my page lifter. Just put some sticky notes here. So if you see the setup, it's really similar to my A5 by GM and my personal rings agenda as well, because if it works, why not, right? I have the little pocket here, the zip pocket from also May Paper Co. And right now I'm keeping this super simple. I just have this little page flag, the two different types of page flags, which I am sure I have shared before as well. And I love that I don't need to buy a whole, new items and accessories. I just know, meaning like these things, I just know that what has worked for me is going to continue to work for me. The A6 size pockets are so interesting as far as these here, because I love these. I'm able to just use the stickers that I'm currently using and they fit in here perfectly. The stickers are from Infinite Lotus. I love how neutral they are, not very colorful. That's one thing about me, is that I still stick to my neutrals, and I will continue to do so. And I'm going to go to the front pocket. I'm sorry, the front part, the front deco of my agenda. I have this transparent, this is just the beginning dashboard from Infinite Lotus as well. It is layered on top of one of the dashboards from Aesthetic Paper Co. This was so nice for me because I felt it was a muted floral for Valentine's Day for the month of December. And I like that. I kind of feel like this being brown, that I like these more neutral colors to go with the oak color inside of the Mulberry A6 agenda. This is something that I've always carried on as well. This is from Noted Co. I use my little heart sticker here to just cover up the month that has gone by. Again, these are the majority of my inserts. I will tell you, all of my inserts are from Infinite Lotus, because I'm able to go here and find everything that I need to set up what works for me. I'm going to continue this idea of jotting down my monthly wins. So for January, I was able to use these inserts to jot that down. And then moving on, I feel like this, I'm kind of going back and forth with the way this ended up looking, because at the moment I felt like these little stickers here, these little arrows worked well, but now I'm kind of feeling like it's a little bit too busy. But of course, I'm just going to stick with it because I'm not going to redo this. I do plan on putting I'm waiting on some small transparent circles to highlight the dates that I also wrote down here. And in fact, I initially said that when I was going to use my personal rings, I was going to use this particular insert for, these are the quarterly inserts for just my intentions for the month. But I never got down to writing those intentions. And then I figured, you know what, I'm just going to keep it moving. I used to use this just for academic items, dates, events. But then I decided, let me just jot down the most important things that I need to look at a glance. So that's what I'm using these for. Honestly, the backs of these, I've never used them before because I always felt there was a lot of space. But now that I'm in A6, I kind of feel like I would love to complete the Q1 review that is in the back of these inserts. So that is something that I am looking forward to. And of course, these are the four for each quarter, 1 page per quarter. So this is what I have in the very beginning of my planner. Moving on, I have my monthlies, and I decided to use a month on 2 pages, also from Infinite Lotus. These are back to back, and these were the same inserts that I purchased for my personal rings, but there was something about that space that made me nervous. I can't even explain it. I couldn't even write, believe it or not, on the monthly view. I don't know what this was about. But these though, I'm able to use my pen and just write on here like any normal person would, right? And I do plan on, like I said, adding a couple more transparent dot stickers here to mark some dates so that I can highlight, but I'm waiting on those stickers to come. Very much enjoying this. I feel that the size is a little bit more than a pocket, right? And bigger than, as far as width, bigger than the personal rings. And for a moment I did think, what if I do FCC, right? But then I know not a lot of shops carry FCC. Now Infinite Lotus does carry FCC as well as A6. And that's the other thing I did think about a lot before I made this decision. And in the past I have thought about returning to A6, but that idea of not knowing if all the shops would carry the items that I need always kept popping up, right? But I said, let me just do this because I'm not finding I just can't get my footing with personal rings. And as much as I would love to go back to my A5 ring agenda, I told myself I want to try something new. I want something more portable. And so I'm going to give this a shot. And I've never really given the Mulberry a true chance. And I feel like this is the year to give it that chance. All right, so as I said, this is all very simple here. I'm using a lot of the Infinite Lotus stickers to mark payday and meetings here, and other also for appointments. Put a star when the kids don't have school. And on the margin, I'm still writing, for example, if it's an appointment, who is going to go to that appointment. And whatever other items I add them on here. And like I said, I know I'm going to add a little bit more deco here, but for now, this is kind of the bare bones. All right, so this I got for a while back ago, and I'm just putting this in here. Unfortunately, the shop is no longer creating these, so I'm not going to go into this as far as where I got it from, but it's just supposed to be for deco. But I did go ahead with my hole puncher and just put the holes here so that I can use this for just a little ribbon, a little pop of something in the top here. Of course, the gold hardware, because I love gold hardware. That is something that I still continue to stay true to. And yeah, I was able to pre-plan a couple of months already here, so I'm ready to go. I do use this other little circle with a little gift here for someone's birthday, so I have that there as well. So that completes my entire first section. My official first section, though, because as I said, I have kind of this introduction section here. And these dashboards, for example, I feel like I have a combination of dashboards. I have some from Infinite Lotus, others like the one in the front here. This is from Aesthetic Paper Co. right here. And this one is from Noted Co. So I was very happy that I was able to get these in the A6 size from Noted Co. because these are definitely some of my favorite dashboards. So let's see here. Next section is still an experiment. Okay, so this is where I can show you kind of that difference between the two sizes. And as far as how, this is one of the biggest thing I compared to see which would work better for me. And I know the frame is kind of hard to see everything here. I think I'll just try to do like a side-by-side if possible. There we go. And same layout. Okay, this is A6, this is personal size. And I love because while I was able to test drive these inserts, I knew exactly what I wanted to put where. But when I used this particular size, I felt just a little bit more comfortable. I felt like I had that writing space like from left to right and not feeling like it's just so narrow. Which just completely, I'm still in shock with this whole transition that I've been through. And I think my brain just got so trained from being in an A5 that, like I said, every time I would try to go into the personal rings, it just wouldn't click for whatever reason. And so, yeah, I even noticed that because of course it's longer, then I'd have sometimes some extra space down here. And here, no, like I'm really filling these to the brim. And I'm very much enjoying this size here. And so that was just kind of the inserts that I've been using. Like I said, I am waiting for my half-hour custom weekly hourly inserts. When they arrive, I will definitely be moving in. I'm really just going to transfer everything from my personal rings into those inserts because I use those for just the week on 4 pages. So I'm going to transfer all that information over to the A6 size inserts when I receive them. So yeah, these, you know, I think around the end of January is when I started using these actually, and I've been very much enjoying them. That's been mostly pen to paper and a little bit of highlighting. That is it, mostly because I know I'm not going to stay in these inserts. I'm just really just trying them out for now, and I just needed a place to plan, of course. I do like them, but they're not my preferred inserts. Okay, these are just kind of, like I said, just letting me kind of surviving at the moment, survival mode. And here we are. I do have this little today page marker, we'll call it. It's like a dashboard here from Cloth and Paper, where I'm just putting some sticky notes here, marking my space. And this is the week that I'm currently on at the moment. After this section, I have, well, first of all, the dashboard. This one is also from Noted Co. And the next section, I have given myself the freedom to plan again daily inserts. And that's one thing I will tell you, I did not like planning like for some reason in the daily inserts. I didn't like using daily inserts in my personal rings, and I didn't like it in my A5 either because the space was just too much, and in the personal size just felt, just like I said, too narrow. But these were just right. I love this. So I'm happy that I am able to daily plan. Again, these are from Infinite Lotus, and let me see if I can just pull one out for you here. Again, half-hour slots because I have things that are scheduled on a half hour. So doing hourly is just not working for me. It hasn't worked for me for quite a while. So undated, and you can mark your day here, put the date up there, and then just plan your day there if you wish to do so. Some priorities, do's, and notes. And that's one thing I will tell you. For these particular inserts, sometimes I don't have a lot of space, and that's when I resort to these daily inserts, and I tend to use these more for work, and they've worked very well. But again, the idea is having it all in one place. I have this right here for daily inserts, and if I want to flip for a weekly view, I have that there. So I think I will definitely continue to do that. And this combo has worked well, but of course I do miss that weekly view where everything is there for me to see. All right, so that is that section. Following this one, this is actually a planner card that I received from Noted Co. And I was able to punch this. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I mean, I've seen friends in A6 and they were able to always punch their cards and put them in their A6 ring agenda. And of course, this was not going to fit a personal nor a an A5 ring agenda, but it fits perfectly in the A6. So this was definitely something that I was very excited to do. So this section is all my trackers. All my trackers are here. This section is for trackers. And I love the fact that these trackers are really cute and small, because that is something that I felt when I was in A5 that always bugged me. I felt like there was so much space there for just a very simple tracker. Now, and I do have to share that thought, but also follow it and just kind of just be very transparent and let you know that who knows though. I mean, if things don't work out for the A6, I will probably have to go back home to my A5, but I'm hoping that this will work for me. So far, everything I've tried, I have very much enjoyed. I haven't seen any issues with any of the inserts I just shared, with the exception of these. And that's only because I feel like I don't have enough space for a to-do list. And of course, I've been able to solve that by using these dailies. But I'm hoping, like I said, with the custom that I ordered, that would be resolved. But we'll see. All right, so I have my sleep tracker, which is very different. Typically, your sleep tracker, whether it's in an A5 or in the personal size, it's just one page. And so let me check if I still have that in here, because I've been moving a couple things around. Let me see here. Okay, so here's my sleep tracker for January in personal rings. And as you can see, it was all on one page here. But for this sleep tracker, it's really cute because you have half of it here, like to the 21st, this is from the 1st to the 21st. And then you get to finish the remaining of the month from the 22nd to the 31st in the back. And you even have a spot for notes, which I thought was really cute. I haven't written anything in here because I was transferring all this information to here and I just haven't had time to do that. But I do want to do some kind of reflection or something here. I think that would be really cute. So that is very unique and a pro. This is definitely something that I find is very much an advantage to using, in my opinion, an A6 insert for the sleep tracker. And the same thing happens for the steps. Now, I will tell you though, be careful because of course this is one insert for 1 month, meaning both sides complete 1 month. But these here, you would have one side per month. So this is January, this is February. All right, so you have that. But for these guys, it's not going to work like that. This is the month of February and the back of it is here. And then for steps, same thing, very different in the sense that you had the full sheet, just one side here for 1 month, as you can see here. And then over here, you only can use from the 1st all the way to the 15th, and then little notes here. And I think I probably put a quote here. I'm still kind of going back and forth what I'm going to write there. And then the remaining of the month from the 16th to the 31st is on the back side. This is all the month of January, and here is February. It's really cute, I think. But you know what? It's inviting, though, to me. The space is inviting because I feel it's a manageable space. Then for the habit tracker, that one works like the one in personal size rings where you just have one side. This is my habit tracker right here. And it just have 1 month of January and the next month here for February. And then over here for my mood tracker, this is my current month for February. And then, of course, this was January in the back here. So you have a full page, one month per side. I love the weekly routine. I did take out my reading log and finances. I took all those things out a while back ago. This is just to track my weekly routines. Very cute. Love this as well. So you get 2 months per page. And let me compare it to my personal rings here. Let me just get to that. Here we go. So that's similar. You do get the 2 months. I know in A5 it's 3 months per page. So this was cute, but again, I just like the way that the insert uses the space to put everything on here. Next is another insert from Aesthetic Paper Co. This is so cute. This is something that I just recently got, and that's why I did delay on sharing this video, because I wanted to have all of my dashboards. While it's neutral, it's very feminine to me. I love this so much. This one as well as this one in the front that I showed you. And of course the ones from Noted Co. with a double side right here. And I believe the other one's right over here. Okay. So that is that. And then of course I went forward and got that little planner card. I just smile every time I'm like thinking that. Like, I finally did it. I got to do it finally. So for this section, I am doing the line per day. You can use this in many different ways. And it's the same thing where you have the 1st to the 16th on one side and then the 17th to the 31st. For personal rings, everything was on just one side. This is the entire month. And this felt crowded. I think that's the best way to describe this. It just feels crowded. And here I feel like there's just more breathable space. So it's January and here is February. Very much enjoying that. And I have one more section. This is from Aesthetic Paper Co. So I saw this because Aesthetic Paper Co., Emma is her name, she shared her mulberry. And I know this when I saw that mulberry insert, once I started thinking, okay, let me see if I can take my mulberry out, and I started looking around what was out there, right? I saw her show this dashboard in the very front of the mulberry that she unboxed, and I was just like, I need to get my hands on that. This is a double-sided dashboard, and it's just so beautiful. I love the green. I know she put it in the front in that particular setup. I have it back here because, like I said, I love seeing this floral. So, but I love the fact that I can move these things around, and that's why I think I always gravitate back to rings, whether it's, and I don't really mind the jumping around, to tell you the truth. I know I do feel kind of bad saying this is my first planner hop for 2025, but at the same time, I feel like as long as I am in rings, that's the commonality here. That is the continuity for me. Having the same sections, I know they're different sizes, but just finding the size that works with the same setup that I've been using for a couple of years. When I was in the A5 ring agenda, when I attempted to use personal rings, and even when I was in A6 for a while. Now, that's been a couple years ago when I was in A6. And then when I had that set up, a lot of those inserts were ones that I would print. Well, I purchased a download. I would print, cut, and punch, but I don't do that anymore. So I have to go somewhere where I can have the physical inserts, and that's just the way I work now. All right, so this section, I'm not going to show too much because these are my church notes, and I did decide to move forward and put those here in the back. So I love taking this to church because I'm able to write on this exact planner. I remember when I was taking my personal rings and I attempted to do that. It didn't quite work out for me. Again, the space was so narrow, but this works for me. If I want to, of course, I've always been the kind to snip my inserts so I can take them out. These are not snipped at the moment, but others, I think right around over here, they're snipped so I can just take them out if I need that extra room to write. But I haven't had any issues. Like I said, I'm very much enjoying this, and I hope that it does work for me. So yeah, so this, and again, a lot of what you saw here, this is nothing new. If you've been watching my setups, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm just pretty much recycling the same setup in different sizes. So I think that's why I'm able to just kind of bounce into whatever size I go into. Of course, as you know, it is an investment. This whole me being kind of unsure if this size is going to work on the other size, but at the same time, I really don't mind it. I feel like I said, if I am in rings, it works for me. I don't have an issue, and I don't mind having the variety available in case I do change my mind. And sometimes, as I said in previous videos, it really depends on what season I'm going through. And I think that's the only thing that's worrying me about the A6 is if my entire life will work or into this planner. Will I be able to fit everything that I have going on in here? Because I have combined personal and work. Now, I do have something coming. Of course, I always do, right? But I do have something coming that I could maybe use as a little work notebook, but I'm not sure about that. My heart is really wants to be in one place, like in one planner, and that is it. That's really where I'm at. But before I go, I definitely want to show you the inserts that I did get from Aesthetic Paper Co. So that way you can get an idea of what else is out there. I do plan on playing in those inserts. I haven't done it yet because I kind of, like I said, been able to just figure my way around with these here, combining these with the dailies, right? But let me show you those inserts so you can get an idea of, and maybe that'll be an option for you if you're thinking about A6. I particularly like that Emma from Aesthetic Paper Co. has been paying attention because there's been a handful of us going into the Mulberry. It's a great size, an A6 size. And with that in mind, in fact, Emma has a beautiful collection, and she's one of the persons that really inspired me to go back into the Mulberry, which is kind of interesting because she told me that my Mulberry unboxing from whatever 2 years ago inspired her, right? So it's just kind of funny how we all inspire each and every one of us. And I love that the community is able to just be supportive. So Emma seen this, I don't know what I call it, a trend. I think a lot of us are just experimenting with a different size. Many of us are coming from an A5 to an A6 because the transition is just easier. Others are just, you know, loving the portability of the A6, whatever it may be. I'm glad that we're all being very supportive. And so knowing that Emma saw this in the planner community, she created these inserts that I'm going to show you that I think would be a great option if you want something undated and flexible in the A6 size. These are the inserts I received from Aesthetic Paper Co. You have your title page, vertical weeklies, vertical week on 2 pages, times, notes, task list, and on the back it says here, create the life of your dreams. And this is the way that the layout looks. So you have, it's a Monday start, Monday through Sunday, and they're all timed. Starts at 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. hourly. You have, you could possibly put to-dos up here, and on the side as well. It does say notes there, but I'm sure that if you really want, they don't fit on here, the things don't fit on here, you can put them here on the side. So when I first saw these on Emma's page, I was really drawn to them. I thought she did a beautiful job when she shared them. Now that I have them, I'm a little bit nervous because, as I said, I prefer half-hour slots, but I noticed that I believe Emma's been using them in a very strategic way, where she's just really using it for time blocking, not really in a couple of items, like maybe high priority items to note here. And for me, I'm more like, I want to fit my entire life in here. And I know that I could be busy, but that's the way I'm working at the moment. For example, I'll just show you this half here. This is recently because I do have my A5 rings as my backup because you just never know. And while I wait for my custom order, I'm kind of filling this out so that I can transfer this over to the custom order that I will receive from Infinite Lotus. Anyways, point being is that, as you can see, I am just writing it all here. I am just using this to the brim, and even if it means that it's going to look a little fuller, I like to see the whole thing in front of me. I don't know if I can do that with these, but I do love the idea that these would work very well for someone who's keeping a very minimal layout with just time blocking. I think these would work very, very well. I do want to play in them though and see how it goes. I even thought about the idea of keeping these right here and using these, because that'd be kind of interesting. I can time block here, maybe put some work items on the top and around, use these just for my home items, right? So that is something that did cross my mind. And so like I said, I'm still doing this whole experimentation. I do not mind. I love this. I find joy in this. In fact, I find it very therapeutic for me. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at the moment in regards to what planner I'm using. My first planner, Hot for 2025. These guys luckily have been working very, very well. Definitely going to keep going with these two. And I will just mention briefly that I'm not using this every day. I really only use it when I have something going on with my health. And I even decided to expand it to include things about my kids when they're sick so that I have notes in case I do go to the doctor. I can share some of the symptoms and whatnot, and I have them all here. So this is definitely more of like a health journal where I'm jotting things down. So I wanted to say that in case someone's asking, are you using these every day? No, this is depending on when someone gets sick or myself. And then, of course, this one I am using every day. And my planner that I'm currently using is this one. And I'm definitely using this every single day, as you were able to see through these inserts here. But At the end of the week, what I do is I do transfer things over here, or sometimes I'll just write the items here, just like I said, as a placeholder, while the inserts that are going to look exactly like this, except in the A6 size, arrive. I do have other good things coming. I'm hoping to actually film later the same week because I have some things that I cannot wait to share with you. I don't know when my custom inserts are going to get here, but while they get here, I mentioned something about a notebook. So I definitely want to share a notebook that I'm getting as, again, something to possibly experiment, not a planner, just a notebook. And I do have another cover in A6 coming. That's all I'm going to tell you. In fact, it was supposed to be here on Saturday, and due to some weather conditions, I was not able to receive it. So the same thing happened with the notebook. In fact, the notebook I was going to share with you was supposed to be here on Saturday as well. I didn't get anything, but one is coming tomorrow, Monday. Today's Sunday, and the other item through UPS, and the other item is coming through the normal postal service, and so that's coming on Tuesday when mail resumes. All right, thank you so much for your support. Maybe you weren't too shocked. I don't know, right, with the planner hop, but like I said, I really feel like I have to do what's going to work for me, and I really want to stick to kind of some of the goals that I said, that I wanted something portable, my planner goals, because I know the easy decision is to just go back to the A5. And believe me, I had a moment yesterday when I said, I'm just going to scratch everything and go back in the A5, right? Because that's the easiest decision for me. But then I said, no, I told myself, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a challenge, but I told myself it's time to step out of your comfort zone. Try some new things. And the two items that I've been trying right over here, I have loved these so much. And let me put the stack together just to kind of show you how that looks right here. And I'm still getting used to this, putting the lock through. Okay. And that's the thing though, I normally would have never gravitated towards something like this either, but that's, like I said, it's part of just experimenting, stepping out of my comfort zone. And so this side is a little bit bulky, but I love this. I mean, I can hold all of this in one hand, and I think that's the goal that I set myself for 2025, that I wanted something more portable. And I do get sad that the personal rings didn't work, but at the same time, I kind of like, I mean, let me be clear. I love LV. I absolutely do. I think everybody knows that. And I love how the way that this stack looks, but I kind of feel like having this right here really kind of changes things, and just, I don't know, it just adds variety, right? But of course, if I ever want to try personal rings again in the future, I have them right here. But I like the way that this stack looks, in particular these two, because these are the ones that I'm using every day. And I think they have something now a little bit more in common with the closure that is not your typical snap closure that you would have like this one. All right, I have rambled on enough. I do have other items before I go that I am also waiting on for the A6 agenda, and so it's almost complete, and I felt I felt good, okay, about sharing this today, but I still feel like things that were missing in this agenda, and I figured let me at least put this video out, and then in the next video, you'll kind of know what I'm doing, and then I don't have to go through this whole walkthrough or anything. Instead, I can just show you the new items that I've added to this agenda. Again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day or evening, and I will definitely catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.